Many people say that cheerleading is not a sport. However, I believe that cheerleading is in fact a sport. According to Women's Sports Foundation, the following criteria has to be met to be considered a sport. A physical activity, which involves propelling a mass through space or overcoming the resistance of mass. A contest or competition against or with an opponent. Is governed by rules which explicitly define the time, space, and purpose of the contest and the conditions under which a winner is declared. The acknowledged primary purpose of the competition is a comparison of the relative skills of the participants. Cheerleading by far meets all of these requirements. Many cheerleading squads all over the nation compete in national cheerleading events. Just as basketball and football have guidelines for competitive play, so does competitive cheerleading. The whole routine has to be completed in less than 3 minutes and 15 seconds. The cheerleaders are required to stay within a certain area, compel certain builds, and contain a certain amount of tumbling. Just like gymnastics, they are awarded points for difficulty, technique, creativity, and sharpness. The more difficult a mount or a stunt, the sharper and more in sync the motions, the better the score. Cheerleading is a team sport, so without cooperation and synchronization, first place is out of reach. According to Valerie Ninemeyer, the skills involved in cheerleading leave no doubt that cheerleaders are exceptional athletes. In order to perform the stunts and builds they do, they must be as strong as any football player, as poised as any dancer, and as flexible as the best gymnast. Cheerleaders are athletes by any definition. Cheerleaders perform on a very high skill level that challenges the limits of your body. Competitive cheerleading includes lots of physical activity, like gymnastics. Cheerleaders must learn to tumble. They perform standing backflips, round-off flip-flops, and full layout twists. Cheerleaders also perform lifts and tosses. This is where the flyers are thrown in the air, held by bases, in different positions that require strength and cooperation with other teammates. Some people argue that cheerleaders are just flirts in skirts, with their only job to entertain the crowd. But cheerleaders today compete against other squads and work just as hard as other athletes. Competitive cheerleading is a sport. It is a physical activity that is governed by rules under which a winner can be declared, and its primary purpose is to compare the skills of participants. Hopefully, cheerleading will become as well known as the sport as football and basketball, and even appear in the Olympics, since cheerleaders are just as athletic and physically fit as those involved in more accepted sports.